Yo guys, Visionist Gen here, back with more Call of Duty Zombies content, with today's episode being around survival in Black Ops 7, returning to this channel, being arguably the best zombies feature that we have right now in BO7, as well as a very challenging map to survive in itself, with a nostalgic theme and settings and incredible visuals. This is episode 30 of the Zombie series, with all of my previous episodes all in the description down below. So on that note, stay tuned, and let's get right into it. So I guess first things first, I'll start this off with a general overview on what this episode will cover as a part of the series in case you guys are new. So I'll go over the purpose of this gameplay and what it means to this series and how we're going forward with creating the ultimate goal, the ultimate tier list, and I'll go over that in far more details, as well as the map layout in itself, high round potential, the wonder weapon on Astra, the special features that this map creates, survival in itself as an experience, as well as the Easter egg from Astra, high round strategies, comparing it to other survival maps and just larger maps in itself, comparisons of Black Ops 7 in itself with the camo grind, the map quality, and so many other things, as well as future content that we're going to create going forward as a part of the ultimate goal for this series. So in case you guys weren't aware, this is all of the details that you guys want to know going into this episode. With this being episode 30, and I can't believe how far we've come already, and we have so much further to go with a lot of maps that I've got planned ahead for the next year, and I'm really looking forward to that journey. But I thought adding in some high round gameplay, just like episode 28, if you guys have seen that for the Cosmodrome, I wanted to change the sort of style of the content being created, as I usually typically do big maps and then have an Easter egg in there, just simply enjoying the zombies experience for survival at the casual level, pushing for a higher round to earn, of course, my free gobblegum and enjoy the survival experience. That's something I want to tone it back with and just actually enjoy this game for itself, as well as other features, as well as Deluxe Arcade, which were previous episodes in this channel not so long ago. And all of these features, I just feel like Black Ops 7 has done a lot of good things, and we'll go over that in a bit more detail shortly. But as for this map with Mars Survival, I've really enjoyed this experience. I think the layout in itself is actually quite difficult to survive in. It has many complex features with the zero gravity. It's a small arena in itself with alternating levels, and of course the evil elite bosses, the Uber Klaus. I can't stand them. However, a little bit of a tip here early on for a spoiler: use the war machine. If you guys are playing this map and you're looking for a high round strategy, I promise you now the war machine will one hit that thing. If you use a regular gun, if you're using the gun like I've got here, one of the new weapons in the game, it takes literally like 2 whole minutes trying to shoot the Uber class. Whether you shoot the shoulders or shoot the head, it doesn't really matter. This is legendary with tier 3 at some points, and you'll see how long it takes me. But the war machine, one shot, even at round 50. So a little bit of a tip there for you guys, because I actually learned that throughout the game of how much easier it was to do. However, I was trying to avoid it, which we'll get into again shortly when we talk about the infestation camo grind, as to why I was trying to avoid it. But as for this map in itself, I think it's incredibly fun. The high round potential, I'd say this definitely ranks as one of the hardest ones I've done so far. Definitely because of the zero gravity. There's also the asteroids, which forces you to stay in the middle arena, and all of the Uber classes, which definitely makes this quite difficult to manage unless you are fully set up and prepared to go the extra mile. Now, for the wonder weapon on this map, I didn't actually get it in the sort of survival experience with the LGM, but as a part of episode 24, where we covered the Astra map in itself and the Easter egg, and you require, of course, the LGM for that, it's not my favorite of all time or anything like that. Just like with the Necro Gauntlet, they're both great concepts, and I like the design, but practically they just don't play out as well as I would enjoy them to, and therefore I don't really even care to use them almost, which is pretty much a shame, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that thinks that. I just think the wonder weapons so far haven't been the best. I don't know if that's fair to say. They're just, at least they're not my sort of favorite thing to use. I prefer, generally I just prefer the Raygun Mark II, which I know is absurd because we've had that thing back in the game like 1,000 times by now. But I found it on the floor and I forgot you actually couldn't carry both the Raygun and that, so I actually ended up dropping it for the normal Raygun. I thought I don't ever use this thing, so I may as well get kills for it for the challenge, whilst also actually just enjoying this weapon for how nostalgic it is, of course, all the time, with it also dating back all the way to World at War with Nocta and Toten. So I thought I'd just use it for this gameplay. I never ever put it in any of the videos, so showing some love here for the original Raygun, even though I'm very grateful for Buried for bringing us both the Paralyzer and the Raygun Mark II, because that has been an incredible journey so far, and I'm not one of those guys who hates on that gun, who a lot of people obviously just sick or tired of seeing it, which I do appreciate. We want to see new things, but at the same time I really like it, and I was really cool to see it in the likes of Shattered Veil last year and so on. But anyway, I digress. As for the special features on this map, I love the sound effects. It honestly reminds me of almost watching like the Dune movies, and the landscape and the visuals of this arena are insane. The Astra map in itself, and with coming here, it's all awesome. The experience is just great in this environment, and with it being the boss arena in itself, in the Astra Easter egg, an area that I failed numerous times before finally getting around to defeat the boss as a part of episode 24 of the Zombie series, with other cool features like the asteroids, which I did find that you can literally avoid by just standing in the middle elevated platform like this, by all of which this makes the survival map a fun but challenging experience, and it just adds that cool aesthetic to the map. Although it can be dangerous, at the end of the day, it is survival. And if there are elements that can catch you out, that's a whole part of the journey in surviving those elements. And I just think it's a cool experience in itself, to say the least. I'm a big fan of this Mars map. I think it's honestly my favorite survival map that they've produced. And with survival, as I said earlier, I just wanted to add this content into the zombie series. Like, there's so many great quality maps they've produced so far. They deserve to be played and features on the channel. And I'm just looking forward to playing more survival as we go through the season. And hopefully they bring us some more really exciting maps as well. Like, I think the big maps are just obviously where I'm going to typically play, but having survival in the background to utilize them to play and use new guns and just enjoy casual zombies again. I don't go for high rounds ever. I mentioned this in a lot of my videos. Like, I have no high round strategy or intention pretty much for the most part. But with the quality of these maps and the gobblegum rewards, it's so worth it, and I do enjoy it. And I kind of forget how much I love just playing zombies for zombies' sake and not just having like an advanced Easter egg to try and learn and sort of master as well. So it is cool to sort of change it up and just enjoy that content for this series as a part of the overall journey. Because in case you guys are new, I haven't actually mentioned it so far, but the ultimate goal for this series is to create the ultimate ranking, effectively a tier list of every single zombies map that Treyarch have ever produced. I am also toying with the idea of including the Infinite Warfare maps, but we're not quite there yet. That'll be something we do in the near future. However, it's something I am considering, just so you guys are aware. But I want to create this ultimate tier list where eventually at the end of that journey, I would have completed every single map with every single Easter egg that is sort of available. If it doesn't have an Easter egg, then I just play the map, i.e. Kino and so on. If it does have an Easter egg, I have to, in order to get that map on the channel, the requirement I made and set out right early on in the journey was that I have to complete the Easter egg. If it can be done on solo, it will be done on solo. There are some tricky ones that you have to have 4 players, like Shang, or whether it's Shadows of Evil, stuff like that. I'm going to have to move to a later part of the series, which does suck, but at the same time it's exciting. I can't wait to go back to Black Ops 3 to play Shadows of Evil. Like, that's a really exciting experience. Like, SOE, I think it's one of the greatest maps of all time. I think we can all agree. So I'm looking forward to going back to maps like that. But the part of the series, like I said, we're going to get this ultimate tier list where at the end of the journey, we are going to have every single map ranked, and it's going to be here in one playlist where I can then say, I think this map's S tier or this map's B tier, and I'll have all of the experiences, the gameplay on the channel to back up as to why my reasons were, whether it was at the time with recency bias, and then I might change my view later on when I revisit those maps and videos and see where I thought things were at the time, and then we'll have this ultimate list, something I've always wanted to do. Like, I'm a big Zombies fan, I've been playing since World at War. I mentioned this in all of the videos so you guys know that I'm not just a new time player. Like, I literally have been around since the original days of playing World at War. I remember playing Nuck that day I completed the campaign with being loaded into that cool, scary, and terrifying cutscene. Like, I've been around since then, and something I've always wanted to do is have like this really cool list, and I've created them myself, but this journey is going to be really cool, and I can't wait to share this with you guys, and hopefully you guys are enjoying being a part of that journey, because we still have a little bit to go. There are quite a lot of maps that I still have to cover, and I'm currently sort of multitasking, playing Black Ops 4 Zombies at the minute with the DLCs. I'm actually currently completing the likes of Ancient Evil and so on, with just having completed Dead of the Night, and as we progress through the series, these are the sort of episodes we're going to continue to multitask, playing new maps, survival, as well as Black Ops 7 and previous games like Black Ops 4, and working our way through all of the series to give you guys a full understanding of what content I produce, in case you guys are new. As for high round strategy for this map, look, I'm not a high round player. I'm sure there might be better versions, but for myself, the War Machine was the best thing I found, like for clearing the Uber classes and just making that your life a lot easier there. Having the ray gun was pretty fun. Like I said, I was only really using it for nostalgic purposes, and also I was trying to get the challenge for getting eliminations with it. But at the same time, I found it was pretty useful just to stand on the middle platform and just shoot at your feet. And anytime you got overwhelmed, use your frenzied guard, use your tacticals and lethals, whether you had Casimirs or whatever it may be, decoys, and then simply just do that. Eventually, later, I found it was it was really easy to train around on this map as well, like at the bottom level. At the top, I found it quite chaotic, so I would not recommend that. And when there's asteroids, like I said, stand on the middle platform. These are all of the things that I introduced. Keep doing the TED trials as soon as possible so you can get eternal perks, making your life a little bit easier in case you go down. Use little gobblegums here and there, like Aftertaste. Like, I used one Aftertaste in this game, and that's pretty much the only gobblegum I used. Salvage is really easy to get on this map. Like, there's no reason to spend all your gobblegums getting salvage and getting high tier weapons. Just simply be patient, focus on one weapon at a time, and get a gun to PAP 3, gold tier, whatever it may be. Utilize the box if you can, if you want to try out new guns. But for myself, every time I play a new survival map that comes out now, because I've got the Infestation Master Camo, I simply just use a new gun that's been added to the game, because the last thing I want is to have new guns in the game with no Infestation Camo on it. It's like the coolest camo they've ever made, and I want to see that thing being represented on my guns, so I use it as another reason, not only just the survival element, not only just the gobblegums that you get as a reward for getting to round 50, but also utilizing new weapons, which ultimately gives me more reason or more incentives to actually play these maps out, which is a great thing. And like I said, I've enjoyed this experience so far, and I really am looking forward to the future maps coming up in Season 3 and so on. But with regards to Black Ops 7, I don't know how you guys feel about this. Like, let me know down below, guys, because I am interested on what the viewers who are watching think of this game in itself. I generally think this has been a really, really good COD so far. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, but a lot of my friends think this game's been good too. So I know I'm not the only one in my circle, but I'm just interested. Like, are you guys actually like not fans of this? Because I've seen a lot of negative reviews. I've seen a lot of like hate, I guess, unnecessary hate. I feel like it's forced to to the point where I don't really get where it's coming from, because from a zombies point of view at least, this map has Astra, which is a great map. Not the best DLC 1 map, albeit, but it's still a good map. And with the survival element, it adds so much more quality and layers of depth to this. And then we've got, of course, Ashes of the Dam, which is arguably one of the best sort of starting maps we've had forever. You could even argue it's the best all time. Who knows? Depends on whether you're a new gen or an old gen, or if nostalgia plays its role. But the point I'm trying to make is we have a really good sort of quality of DLC 1 so far and original map. We have incredible survival maps. We also have Deadlops Arcade, which is super fun. All of these things which make it really good. You have cursed mode to help any hardcore fans with enjoying the game at that level, and you have the directed mode, the guided mode, to help any new casual players with learning these maps and getting the Easter eggs done with a little bit of a support from the game. Like, I don't really get at this point what they can do if you're hating on it at this point. I get the map quality could be better maybe, but like I said, we've got one of the best starting maps of all time, and potentially one of the better DLC 1 maps we've had for quite some time. And let's also be fair, DLC 1 maps are arguably the hardest ones to compete with the likes of Horizon Tracker in the past, with that being arguably the top 3 or best map of all time. And then you have Citadel Day More last year, which is also a really good A-tier map in my opinion. You even had Dead of the Night, which I've recently just uploaded on the channel from Black Ops 4, another great quality DLC 1. Like, it's in high sort of competition, so for it to be competing, at least at some regard, like, it's going to be good enough at that point for me. And as long as it's not like a blowout map where it's just poor, which Astra definitely wasn't. The point I'm making is I think Black Ops 7, like, seriously is good, and I feel like there's so much forced hate. And perhaps it's not forced, and like I said, maybe my eyes could be opened, and people are going to tell me what they think is wrong about this, and maybe educate me on what I need to get my head around, or what I'm maybe overlooking, whatever it may be. Maybe that's the case, and I'm positive that that could be the case, not naive. However, I've been playing zombies for long enough. I enjoy it, and that's kind of what matters for me, and I'm not particularly too fussed if others don't. But it is a shame, because I do think they deserve some credit, and I think they produce some really good maps, including the survival maps, which I think has been a good part of this series so far, and I'm looking forward to playing it so on. But with that said, in summary, this is episode 30 of the Zombie series, with plenty more Black Ops 7 and previous Black Ops Zombies content coming to the channel as we progress towards the ultimate tier list in building that ranking, as we will one day be able to rank each and every map and have all of the details and summary saved into one playlist to back up my rankings and my views. But with that said, that's the video in itself. As always, if you have enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am a small creator, as you can see, and I would hugely appreciate any support. And if you have any comments, tips or tricks about playing zombies, Black Ops 7, and your opinions or whatever it may be, or any suggestions about future videos that you might want to see, or perhaps you may want to play one of these maps with myself, please let me know, guys, down below, and I'll get right back to you. I'm reminisce. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.